The following is a presentation of Divots and U.S. Army Central.
On this episode of In the Fight, the surge is showing signs of success as we hear directly from the generals that are in the fight. Al-Qaeda is on the run and having more trouble finding places to hide. A doctor re-enlists to help soldiers on the front lines. The troops at Forward Baylough have not had a chance to rest since arriving on base. And we'll celebrate the incredible courage of a young soldier who paid the ultimate sacrifice. DivotsHub.net presents In the Fight. We start in Baghdad, Iraq, at Multinational Force Headquarters, where General Raymond Odierno has an update on the current security plan, only in the works for a month. The results have been promising from all regions. The pressure is on Al-Qaeda as our soldiers destroy their safe havens and prevent them from returning. This strategy is showing signs of success. The Iraqis, while celebrating a victory on the soccer field at the Asian Cup, are beginning to see more triumphs in their own neighborhoods.
It's my job to communicate what's going on here in Iraq operationally, and that's why I think it's important that I talk about it. And my hope is that the policymakers and everyone else, the public and within the United States, listen and hear what we're saying, because there is some progress being made. Now, I will say that it's really been 30 days since we've begun this operation and the surge, and it is the beginning of progress. I would still like to see it. I'm hoping that this will continue over the next 2 to 3 months. Another reason why, as we give our assessment in September, it's important that we have a bit more time so we can do an evaluation of this progress. And I think it's important that we're allowed to do that because we want to be honest and forthright. We want to make sure that we provide accurate assessments to everyone out there, and it's important to us that we do that. What I have seen is a significant reduction in the Sunni insurgency, and that's why we're not talking about it as much. It's not completely clean because there is still some Sunni insurgency out there, but what we are seeing is those who are now saying we want to work with the coalition and the Iraqi security forces, and that's through reconciliation. And then there are some of those who have moved towards Al-Qaeda. And so it's become a little bit clearer than it was before. It's not completely clean. There are still some insurgent groups out there, and I would never say there's not. But that's kind of what we're seeing. It's kind of a split that's occurred, where they're starting to go either one way or the other. What we're seeing is the Al-Qaeda safe havens have been significantly reduced. Their areas where they're able to operate have been reduced. You have the Al-Qaeda foreign membership that's come in, which I believe has been significantly reduced. You have some of the Iraqis that joined Al-Qaeda several years ago and that are still supporting Al-Qaeda in some number. And then you have a passive number of Iraqis that might support Al-Qaeda out of intimidation and fear. And what we've seen the change be is in many areas we've eliminated the intimidation and fear by chasing Al-Qaeda out. So once we do that, they are fully supportive of the Iraqi security forces, coalition force, and in fact tend to want to fight Al-Qaeda themselves. I think the leadership has been somewhat fractured. I believe that it is becoming more and more difficult for them to operate. As I said in my comments, that does not mean they cannot still operate, but it's becoming more difficult for them. There's less and less terrain for them to operate from and to conduct attacks.
Major General Rick Lynch, Commanding General for the 3rd Infantry Division, is passionate and forthcoming about the success his troops are having south of Baghdad. He emphasizes the importance of clearinghouses and setting up checkpoints to prevent the flow of bomb-making materials, and the return of the enemy in areas that have seemed promised.
In my battle space, which is about the size of the state of West Virginia, that has the southern belts of Baghdad and the southern provinces, we identified early on 4 enemy sanctuary areas. And we're taking to fight the enemy in those areas. We just completed Marne Torch. On the 15th of July, we started Marne Avalanche, detailed, deliberate operations against Sunni extremists in the Euphrates River Valley. And 2 operations are planned that will start here shortly. So it's going to take us through the summer into the fall to deny the enemy those sanctuaries and defeat those extremist elements. And then we got to work the hold piece, which is transition the places that we have now freed from the enemy to competent Iraqi security forces. And that's going to take a period of time. And that's the one I can't predict how long it's going to take. But I can tell you for sure that we're not leaving the areas that we cleared. I've got direct orders from the Corps Commander that if we take the area, we're going to stay there until we can transition it to competent security forces. See, I believe the enemy wants Iraq to be an area where he can use as a breeding ground for terrorists. And if we left an area that we have cleared before we can turn it over to a competent security force, the enemy's coming right back. They have this ability to fill the void, and they're going to get back in that area. They're going to build more bombs, they're going to train more suicide bombers, and they're going to ramp up the level of violence in Baghdad and all around Iraq. So you can't give up an area that you fought so hard for to control. I've lost 80 soldiers under my command fighting this global war on terrorism here in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And we've lost 56 soldiers since April the 4th when we took over battle space in Iraq. And those men and women fought and died here on Iraq to secure some kind of presence for the people of Iraq so they can grow into some kind of safe society. And to just walk away from the ground that we have secured, given the blood of those great American soldiers and the Iraqi security forces. Remember, they're dying at about three times the rate coalition soldiers are. To just walk away from that ground and give that back to the enemy would be an injustice to all.
The decision to re-enlist can sometimes be very difficult to make. One soldier from the 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division, became a doctor in his private life, then decided the soldiers needed his expertise on the front lines. Sergeant Kevin Allen reports.
The life of an infantryman isn't easy on the body. With constant patrols in full body armor, equipment, and in 120-degree days, it's enough to make anyone say grunt. Luxuries and comfort are few and far between. That's why the guys at Bravo Company 130th Infantry have Doc Rostov.
On a day-to-day ops, other than the bullets and everything that are flying and the bombs that they have to deal with out here, more than anything, the health issues. There are a lot of bugs out here. There's a lot of bugs out here. There's a lot of flies. So there's a lot of sanitation issues.
Every incoming patrol gets the once-over when they return to the patrol base. The complaints range from sore feet or backs to insect bites and common colds.
Before they go out, I make sure everybody's hydrated. Make sure they had a meal, got good rest. And then when they come back, I check them for little basic things like athlete's foot, bug bites, bumps, bruises, things like that. Any of the guys that have major injuries, take them over to the A station, or I take care of myself, treat them myself.
Doc Rostov knows the infantry's plight. He was one of them many years ago, before many of his soldiers were born. After a 17-year break in service, Rostov couldn't take seeing casualties on the news without stepping up to help.
All the faces that I saw on TV were so young. All I kept thinking was, damn, they're just kids. They're all kids. Somebody needs to come out there, and somebody that still has a little experience and still has the faculties about them, and still have my infantry skills. I figured, time to get back in here and try and at least, if I could bring one back, you know, I did my job.
From Patrol Base Murray for the 3rd Infantry Division, Sergeant Kevin Allen.
Hi, I'm Colonel Marge Courtney here at Camp Victory, Baghdad. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I just want to say thank you for all your support back home.
Hey everybody back at home, my name is Sergeant Promoter with the Navy Davis. I'm out here at Forward Operating Base Hammer out in Iraq. I'd like to give a shout out to my father, my sister, Shakola, my sister, Wanika, my brother, Desmond, my kids, Denevius, Robert, and Denaya. I'm out here doing well. I hope everybody keep me in their prayers out there in Cuthbert, Columbus, and Atlanta, and War Eagle.
This is PFC Franklin Scott from Sonoma, Washington. This is Sandy. Hey, family. Hey, Lindsay. If you're seeing this, I don't know if you are.
Hello, my name is Sergeant Lisa Young here at 5 Tasu, Iraq. I'm with AJC 2nd Brigade, 3rd ID. And I'd like to thank Fort Stewart, Hinesville area for all their prayers and support. I also like to give a special thanks to my family back at home in New York, to my sister Tracy, my daughter Janatane, and to all my family and friends from New York to Maryland. I love you and miss you.
Coming up, In the Fight takes you to the front lines in Afghanistan, where troops are busy fighting off Taliban advances. Then we head out on patrol into the open waters of the Persian Gulf. Check out DivitsHub.net for the latest accurate and reliable information from In the Fight.
There's strong, and then there's Army strong. It's more than physical strength. It is emotional strength. Not just strength in numbers, the strength of brothers. Not just the strength to get yourself over, the strength to get over yourself. There's nothing stronger than the U.S. Army, because there is nothing stronger than a U.S. Army soldier. There's strong, and then there's Army strong. Visit GoArmy.com/strong.
You are In the Fight, presented by DivitsHub.net. In Afghanistan, the insurgency of the Taliban has been intensifying, especially in the southern districts. We head to Forward Operating Base Baylough, where soldiers from Bravo Company 1/4th Infantry have faced daily attacks since arriving. Specialist Matthew Little reports.
Nestled in the mountains of Zabul province is Forward Operating Base Baylough. A smallish FOB with only a platoon-sized element, these soldiers go every day with at least one attack on the FOB.
Well, right now we're in the process of disrupting the freedom of movement for the Taliban. We've been engaging the enemy forces for the last 29 out of 34 days we've been in contact.
Outside the wire, soldiers are constantly monitoring for enemy activity, searching houses, conducting patrols, and facing the enemy wherever they are found.
I've been in probably so many ticks I can't even count on my fingers and toes anymore. You know, it's beyond politics, it's beyond all that. It's just about, you know, taking care of each other and going home.
Sometimes under strength and often outnumbered, soldiers of Bravo Company 1/4 Infantry Battalion continue on mission. Specialist Matthew Little, 22nd Impact, FOB Baylough, Afghanistan.
We take you back to Iraq, where soldiers from the 82nd Airborne Division take to the streets of Adamiyah. While on patrol, they reach out to Iraqi locals to find out their concerns and what their critical needs are. Staff Sergeant Randy Randolph reports.
Hearing voices. In the fish market area of Adamiyah's Sukasamachi neighborhood, the sound of busy voices carries through the city streets. Listening to these voices are paratroopers from 2nd Battalion 319th Airborne Field Artillery Regiment, who patrol this area daily, interacting with the people they serve, engaging their needs.
You got to get out and talk to the people to find out exactly what's wrong with the community. If you're over here, you might as well make the community better. Get to know the people, get to know the problems, and then try to fix the problems, or assist the Iraqis in helping them fix their own problems.
For Bravo Battery paratroopers, the first 2 months of their deployment focused on combat operations. Since then, they have shifted gears and are balancing their tactical roles with giving a voice to Adamiyah residents, so they can help them solve problems in their community.
So we switched gears, and now we are more interactive with all the shop owners, all the elders here that hang out at the coffee shop, to kind of let them know where we're coming from, let them know we're both on the same side and we both want the same things for Iraq: security, security for all their families and friends to shop here freely.
As the Bravo Battery Bulls continue to form a constant presence in the streets of Adamiyah, they are lending their ears to hear the voices of Iraqi citizens. Reporting for the 82nd Airborne Division, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Randy Randolph, Baghdad.
It's going to get a generator.
Back in Baghdad, at 3rd Infantry Division headquarters, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Peter Pace, was on hand to swear in soldiers from Task Force Marne who are re-enlisting. Sergeant Kelly Longvine has the story.
Constitution of the United States.
These 42 soldiers are voting with their right hand, voting to stay in the uniform of the U.S. Army. The soldiers took the oath of re-enlistment administered by no less a figure than General Peter Pace, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Soldiers who've decided that service to this country is worth their time, their energy, and perhaps their blood.
Sergeant Major Kelvin Raybon has been with the Army for nearly 20 years. He's the 3rd Infantry Division's retention NCO, and he's impressed with today's crop of soldiers.
They know what they're getting into before they come in. They know that we're a nation at war, and they understand that, and they understand what that entails as far as the risk that involves.
The soldiers who renewed their commitment to military service on this July day, and the others they serve with, comprise a minority.
1% of our nation's population that serve their armed forces, that serve in the armed forces. And I think that's important. So we're protecting the other 99%. That's astounding, isn't it?
Despite ongoing deployments and long separations from families, today's ceremony showed that there's still willing volunteers, and that gives General Pace a great feeling.
We're proud, for sure, of the individuals re-enlisting today, but in a very special way, it's a feeling of personal pride as well.
In 3 re-enlistment ceremonies in the past 2 months in Baghdad, more than 700 men and women have re-upped, including 500 in one day alone. July 4th, American Independence Day. Reporting from Camp Victory, Iraq, for Task Force Marne, I'm Army Sergeant Kelly Longvine.
Off the coast of Kuwait, the U.S. Navy patrols around the harbors and along the coastline of the Persian Gulf. Sergeant Bobby Statham explains how they watch out for vessels, both large and small.
With the Navy's newest and fastest boats, sailors of Inshore Boat Unit 51 patrol the waters of the Persian Gulf. Ships from all over the world seek safe passage to deliver crucial supplies.
Our main mission here is to provide harbor defense for assets that are here. It's always hot, so we're always drinking water and staying alert. We are the first active duty unit to do this, so it's been a learning experience for us, but we all caught on really fast, and now it's just part of everyday life.
Passage here has been quiet, thanks to many hours of hard work and watchful crews, because to these sailors, anything can be a threat.
Here we have a lot of small contacts, jet skis, and things of that nature. We just got to keep an eye on them, make sure they don't get out of line.
Despite the Persian Gulf's harsh conditions, mission comes first.
So far, we haven't had any incidents, so I think we're doing a very good job. We're providing awareness to the people here that we are here and we are ready, and we're just not showing any complacency.
Another successful ship comes to a close. The crew heads home, another mission complete. Reporting from the 1st TSC Public Affairs Office, Sergeant Bobby Statham, Arabjan, Kuwait.
Hi, I'm Command Sergeant Major Paul Foster here at Camp Victory, Baghdad, Iraq. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. I just want to say a big thank you to all the folks back home for all your support. Thanks.
This is TSC Richardson from Camp Arabjan, Kuwait. I want to give a shout out to my family in Beaumont, California, my son and my mom, my brother in San Diego, and I want to give a big shout out to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Go Dodgers!
I'm CW2 Jeremy Hoffman from Countersport, Pennsylvania. I'd like to put a shout out to my wife and kids here from Balad. I love you guys.
Hello, my name is Sergeant Colleen Bruton, and I'm with the Division G4, 3rd Infantry Division, Camp Victory, Iraq. I'd like to say thank you to the community of Savannah for all the support that we have received while being deployed. I'd like to say a special thanks to my mother, Janelle Corley, and my sister, Denise Jones, and Miss Dana Ash. Thanks for all your support and everything that you do. Rocket Marne.
Coming up next, we celebrate the life of a young soldier who fearlessly battled the enemy before paying the ultimate sacrifice. Plus, we'll check out some of the best still images our vast archive has to offer as In the Fight presented by DivotHub.net, continues.
I was pretty nervous, apprehensive.
It was tough to tell them I was joining the Army at first. I did research on my own, tried to get an idea about what the Army was going to be like. It's given me a whole bunch of confidence.
But now I'm very proud of him.
He's just a stronger, more driven individual.
He could outrun me.
If your son or daughter wants to talk about joining the Army, listen, you made them strong, we'll make them Army strong. Find out more at GoArmy.com.
In the Fight salutes the lives and sacrifices of our military heroes. This month, we celebrate the life of a young soldier who battled to the very end to help save others in his unit. PFC's Stephanie Ingersoll reports from Camp Pendleton.
Marines, family, and friends crowded Camp San Mateo's parade deck to witness the presentation of Corporal Jason Clariday's posthumous Navy Cross Medal. 3rd Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment recognized Clariday's heroism and ultimate sacrifice during a ceremony in which his wife, Sarah, accepted the military's second highest award. Clariday received the award for heroism while leading his fire team in an attack against insurgents in Fallujah, Iraq. During a security sweep on December 12, 2004, a platoon-sized insurgent force engaged 3rd Platoon, Kilo Company. Clariday immediately repositioned his men and jumped a 4-foot gap to the roof of an enemy stronghold where a Marine lay wounded. Clariday was hit with AK-47 fire in both legs, but continued to aggressively engage the enemy. Disregarding his wounds, he refused evacuation and rejoined the squad to lead Marines in a second assault on the enemy's location. He received mortal wounds during the second attack, but his courageous actions during both engagements enabled reinforcing assault elements to destroy the insurgent position. Several Marines who worked with Clariday attended the ceremony. Many spoke highly of the 21-year-old's ability to lead Marines.
First man in, last man out. That's the kind of Marine he was.
Corporal Jason Clariday left a lasting impression with his family and friends, while his actions under fire left a lasting impact with his battalion and the Marine Corps.
No, Jason, I miss you a lot, and you're always in my heart, and I can't wait to see you again one day. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for being who you are.
Several veterans, some who earned Navy Crosses of their own, attended the ceremony to support Clariday, his family, and the battalion. Reporting from Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, I'm Private First Class Stephanie Ingersoll.
Divots is a 24/7 operation that provides a timely, accurate, and reliable connection between the media and the United States military serving worldwide. Through a network of portable satellite transmitters located in theater and a distribution hub in Atlanta, Georgia, Divots makes available real-time broadcast quality video, still images, and print products, as well as immediate interview opportunities with service members, commanders, and local government officials. Everyone can visit our website at DivotHub.net and search through our enormous video and still imagery libraries. Plus, in our Greetings from the Field collection, family members might be able to sneak a peek at a relative in the area of operation. It's all at DivotHub.net. For questions or comments about In the Fight, you can email us at ondemand@DivotHub.net. As we close, we feature some of the best still imagery that Divots has to offer as we listen to Eddie Forst's composition, Pangea. See you next time in The Fight.